Going to the United States is no longer the greatest opportunity in the world. Today, the greatest opportunity in the world is online. Studying crypto, it was going to come back. Decided to really start focusing on building businesses online. Ended up doing $1 million in revenue in e-com, creating wealth, multiplying wealth, and then I cashed out at $59,000 Bitcoin, which is the preservation wealth.
Where does that whole entrepreneurial spirit come from?
I didn't have a phone. I didn't have a computer. I didn't have a laptop. I didn't have any of these things.
Yeah.
I was that poor. I got a paycheck for $800. I just worked 2 weeks. I don't want to work for somebody else. And I just decided to create the delusion of abundance. Today, you have access to what I like to call the digital gold rush. If you have access to the internet, you have access to a phone, you can tap into this global financial ecosystem. The internet doesn't care your skin color, your history, and as long as you can provide value, it will reward you. So if I can do it, anybody can do it. I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but I'm the most delusional guy in the world, I'll tell you that's for sure. Making money online is not just the single greatest opportunity of our lifetime, it's the single greatest opportunity in human history.
Luke, I want to thank you very much for coming on the podcast, my brother. This has been a long time coming. I'm glad we are finally sat in person together, finally meeting for the first time and on a podcast, which is sick.
Thank you for having me, brother. It's a pleasure.
So we were just discussing content and the whole strategy. You only started content, you said, in late 2022.
Yeah, I started October of 2022.
And you've blown up massively. You're everywhere. Every podcast you go on, you get views. All your social media clips get views. Anything you put on Instagram gets views and clicks. What was your strategy behind it?
I mean, the first thing is you need to be somebody worth following. And I think that that's one of the big issues that people have is they want to be somebody else. And they look at somebody else's strategy, they see what somebody else is doing, and they assume that that's going to work for them. One is, are you worth following? Two is, are you authentic?
Yeah.
And I think the reason why I've been able to do this content thing and still maintain my businesses and still be able to maintain a level-headedness when it comes to content is I'm me. Whether I'm me in front of the podcast or me outside of the camera, I'm myself.
Yeah.
So when I started making content, I wanted to be somebody I was proud of.